The Hitman of Boca Raton. The second baseman, number 8, Ryan Lujo.
And we welcome you to the USSSA Elite World Series 11U Championship game. The rain has finally subsided and they did a marvelous job, Trebs, trying to get everything ready for this game.
Yeah, the field burn was a mess. We had a shower come through. Had a typical Central Florida summer monsoon.
Ground ball over to second, and they make the play over at first, and they get the out.
One out.
Let's go, KJ!
Now coming to the plate, the shortstop, number 34, KJ Scobie.
KJ Scobie. All right, so one away here. This is KJ Scobie from Lakeland, Florida. That's not too far away, Trebs.
Lakeland, Florida, lightning capital of the United States. Sure they saw a little popping today.
Takes the pitch up and inside, and he draws the walk. So KJ Scobie draws a walk. And that brings up Anthony Trelango now. Check out the starters for the Hitman. Ryan Lujo, KJ Scobie, Anthony Trelango. That's the first three in this lineup. Anthony Espinoza hitting fifth. Out in right field, Sammy Soto at first base. Corey in center field. Blake Matthews, the extra hitter. Brandon Marcy, Noah Lucia, and Braden Slade in left field.
So the front came in, Bernie, and it dropped a boatload of water on the field surface here in Champion Stadium. And we waited it out. ESPN Sportscape came in, dumped the Turfus field conditioner down, soaked up the water, raked it in, dropped down some new lines, and we are back playing after about an hour and 10-minute delay. And it was not looking pretty there for a while. But we did manage to dodge that bullet.
Well, you talked about just even coming into this final day, we weren't quite so sure that we'd even be able to get through this last day of the championship, just because the outlook was so dreary rain-wise.
Yeah, the forecast was definitely very ugly leading up to play today. In our morning game, you know, it rained for 90% of the game. In the 10 and under championship game, our second game of the day, it rained for all but the last half inning, I think. And then we had a break in the action while they adjusted the field for the 11-year-olds, and then that's when the bottom fell out. But a quick recovery by Sportscape, and these young men on both these clubs are going to get their chance to play for their World Series championship.
Well, which I'm sure, you know, you talk about the hitters and the athletes on these two teams, this is the moment that they've been waiting for all year long. And, you know, if you get tons and tons of rain on the final day, then, you know, often what has to become is that they have to share the championship. But nobody wants to share the championship. Everybody wants to play in this final game, that's for sure.
Yeah, in the 14-year history of this Elite World Series, we have never not finished. We've always been able to get through whatever Mother Nature threw at us on championship day. So, you know, just another feather in the cap.
1-2 pitch. Called strike 3, hits the inside corner. And the Hitmen have 2 away. A nice pitch there for the starting pitcher, Ethan Malone. 0-0, Ethan Malone. Right-handed out of Glendora, California. He loves Clayton Kershaw and the Dodgers. He said that winning the NABC was his biggest moment of his career. This truly is a big test. Florida versus California. Wilson MVP, so many talented teams over the last couple of years that we've seen, especially at the younger age groups.
Yeah, the foundings of the Wilson MVP group actually started out as the Oakley Stingrays out of Oakley, California, way back, gosh, 10 years ago probably. And that program morphed into the Wilson MVP program. And yeah, every year they always bring in an 8, a 9, a 10, an 11, 12, who knows, just about cover all the ages. And you can guarantee that if it's got Wilson MVP on the jersey, it's going to make it to the Final Four at least.
You got Nico Bernstedt at the plate, nicknamed Cheeks. From Coconut Creek, Florida. He's a Yankees and Cubs fan.
Ugh.
Played for the USSSA All-American and for Select 30. That's what we talked about. Obviously, the Select 30 athletes just getting checked in for what is going to be an incredible week next week.
Yeah, it's going to really be great to these young athletes get to mingle with the former major league players and take tips and run through drills with the likes of Ken Griffey Jr. and players like that. Great opportunity.
There's a strikeout to retire the side, and now we will have Wilson MVP coming to the plate for the first time in the championship when we come back to Champion Stadium.
First challenger.
Uh-oh. Seems kind of heavy, don't you think?
We might need to cut this up.
Out of 0 pretty light, I don't know. Maybe the other side?
That should even
that
out.
should make it right.
Yeah, out of 0, 1-0.
Next competitor.
Time to get the cutting on this one too. Still no comparison.
No way the coaches let me on the field with this.
Might be in the dugout with it.
We can go one more.
Ooh. Get a couple curls in.
You about to get big out here.
Big but fast though.
Out of
0. You can cut some off for that.
We're gonna cut the tongue and everything. No comparison.
Still rock bottom.
That just happened.
Lighter the cleat, faster the game. It's no competition. I'm out of here.
Enough said.
We are the game changers, the soldiers.
We are one and we are many.
We fight together for one common goal.
But how we fight?
Well, that couldn't be any more different.
We each have our own skills
and our own needs.
Which is why we choose these as our weapons.
A collection of the hottest tools to give us the power we strive for.
These are the game changers. For the game changers. We are one, we are many.
We
are DeMarini Nation.
Power to the players.
55 minutes. Your call is important to us. Thank you for your patience.
In the nation, we know how it feels when you aren't treated like a priority. We do things differently.
We'll take care of it.
We put members first.
Thank you.
Join the nation.
Nationwide is on your side.
First started swinging Marucci bats when I was in AAA. I needed some bats to swing, and I heard about Marucci at the time, so I gave it a shot. I mean, just the difference in the bats were amazing. You know, it felt so good in my hand, it felt like an instrument almost. My name is Andrew McCutcheon, and I swing Marucci. Check out Big League tested and approved Marucci products now.
Challenger. Uh-oh. Seems kind of heavy, don't you think?
We might need to cut this up.
Out of zero, pretty light. I don't know. Maybe the other side?
That should even
that
out.
should make it right.
Yeah, out of zero, 1-0.
Next competitor.
Time to get the cutting on this one, too. Still no comparison.
No way the coaches let me on the field with this.
Might be in the dugout with it.
We can go one more.
Ooh. Get a couple curls in.
You about to get big out here.
Big but fast though. Out of zero. You can cut some off for that.
We're gonna cut the tongue and everything. No.
All right, back here for the bottom of the first inning between the Hitman and MVP. We're going to get their Matt Trebuchet with you. Rudy Garcia's Wilson MVP team.
We are the game changers, the soldiers.
We are one and we are many.
We fight together for one common goal.
But how we fight
Well, that couldn't be any more different.
We each have our own skills
and our own needs.
Which is why we choose these as our weapons.
A collection of the hottest tools to give us the power we strive for.
These are the game changers.
For the game changers.
We are one.
We are many.
We are D-Marini Nation.
Power to the players.
Next.
Expected wait time, 55 minutes. Your call is important to us. Thank you for your patience.
In the nation, we know how it feels when you aren't treated like a priority. We do things differently.
We'll take care of it.
We put members first.
Thank you.
Join the nation.
Nationwide is on your side.
All right, back for the Elite World Series MVP, leading 1-0. The Hitman, a couple of defensive miscues, Trebs. Saw a triple turn into a run, and now one that went through the wickets here.
Yeah, one of the things that these young outfielders are not accustomed to is playing the carom off the wall. And that base hit down the first baseline took a wicked bounce off the wall, the side wall. It crossed over after it got past the base, crossed over the line into foul territory and ricocheted off the wall, and the right fielder wasn't prepared for it. And when he did recover, then made an errant throw.
There's another base hit. That was Maliki Paleo. And there are runners on the corners.
When you play a team the caliber of Wilson MVP, and this holds true for both teams. Wilson playing Boca and Boca playing Wilson, is you can't make those types of mistakes. They're going to be costly because both these teams will take advantage of every mistake that you make. And when you're playing at this level, you just got to cut the mistakes down to as little as you can.
Yeah, absolutely. You need to make sure, as the rain's starting to drizzle again here at Champion Stadium, they put down 2 full cartfuls of turfus after the delay earlier.
Yeah, roughly 3,200 pounds of turfus went on the diamond just to get us started, and I personally am a little worried on how much more water the field's going to be able to handle today, because like we commented earlier, it started raining before we started our 9 o'clock game, or our 9-year-old game this morning at 9:05, and it let up a couple times during that game, but it pretty much rained on and off. And then it rained all the way through our 11-year-old game, except for our 11 o'clock game, the 10-year-old championship game, except for the last half inning.
Right.
And then, of course, we had the monsoon that hit in between that game and this game. So there's going to be a limit to how much more water this field's going to be able to take.
Two in scoring position, and at the plate, Derek Krull, center fielder. A rainy day here. And Champion Stadium hasn't made it easy for these players, but this has been the moment that they've had their eyes pinned on all year long. So obviously they want to get as much baseball as possible. That one down the line, and it went foul at the last moment. MVP fans thought that that one was a home run. Trying to decide if it was fair or foul. It really did look from, at least my perspective, that it was a foul ball.
Yeah, of course, we didn't have the look at it that the umpires had at it, but it looked like, and of course the thing you got to remember is it's not where it lands, it's where was it when it crossed the fence. And that's always a hard one to judge when you're using the temporary fence because there is no foul pole there. But I think just from the angles I've seen in the replay I've seen, I believe that it was a foul ball.
Yeah, it looked like the right call, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. And that's what we're going to go with.
So it is officially a foul ball, and now we're going to get another opportunity here for Derek Krul.
And you saw there in the replay, left fielder for the Hitman, Braden Slade was helping sell that call a foul to the umpire. Helping
Got
out
to
the umpire
though, right?
There. Yeah, it's your job.
Even at 11U. Nicknamed DC. He loves that left side. Fouls it down the left side once again. That his most memorable play is making a diving play in center field in the championship game last year in Florida and scoring the winning run of the championship game. Plays 3 sports: baseball, football, and soccer. You like the kids at the multi-sport athletes. 2-2 pitch. This time he hits it out to right field, but right on the dot, it's going to be caught. He's robbed out and right by the right fielder, Anthony Espinoza, who goes diving in to make the snag and end the threat. It could have been a much bigger first inning, but MVP, they get robbed. A brilliant catch out and right. And it remains 1-0. Wilson MVP headed to the second.
Next.
Expected wait time, 55 minutes. Your call is important to us. Thank you for your patience.
In the nation, we know how it feels when you aren't treated like a priority. We do things differently.
We'll take care of it.
We put members first.
Thank you.
Join the nation.
Nationwide is on your side.
Welcome back to the USSSA Elite World Series. Wilson MVP with a 1-0 advantage over the Boca Hitman Ultra. Anthony Espinoza is going to lead things off. He made that great catch out in right field a moment ago.
He really laid out for that, Bernie. That was a beautiful piece of defensive work.
Nicknamed Espo from Boynton Beach, a Marlins fan. Got a favorite player of Giancarlo Stanton. I'm sure that there's a lot of people that down there in South Florida are Stanton fans with what he does.
He can hit him a mile.
Started playing baseball when he was 4 years old. And he grounds this one over to the shortstop, who fires it across the diamond. Easy play for Evan Chavez, getting it over to Gabriel Camacho for the first out here in the second inning. 6 innings here in this 11U championship. We've had pretty good weather all week long, but the grass needs a little bit of rain, and it's getting it today. Unfortunately, right in the midst of this 11U championship game. Sammy Soto now at the plate. A lot of familiar names, it seems like, for this Boca Hitman Ultra team. Big Papi, they called him. The nickname for Samuel Soto. He's been playing baseball since he was 3 years old. Both of his family members from Venezuela. He tries to smile through the difficult moments in life. Some people on the USSSA staff, I'd love to teach that one too.
Bernie, I don't think you can say that on the air.
It's always about having that sunshine outlook, right?
Hey, we are in beautiful, sunny Central Florida.
2-0.
As the rain continues to fall.
Three and one.
Maybe that's something right there will kickstart the Hitman's offense, get it rolling. You know, Burn, both these teams are perfect 8-0 on the week. Get ready for this.
Yeah?
Boca has scored 73 runs in 8 games. It means they're averaging 9.1. They only gave up 38. So they're averaging, scoring 9.1 and giving up 4.8. But Wilson MVP, who is also 8-0, scored 101 runs in those 8 games for an average of 12.6 runs a contest. And they only allow an average of 2.5. It is very hard to lose when you're outscoring your opponent by 10 runs a game.
That's for sure.
So these 11-year-olds now, they pitch from 50 feet. The base paths are 70. The outfield fence is set at 250 down the lines and 270 to center. And you'll see them, they're basically playing Major League Baseball National League style rules, with just a few exceptions of courtesy runners for the pitcher and catcher at any time to help speed the game up. And they're allowed to use an extra hitter. They can have an additional hitter in the lineup. But other than that, they're basically playing the same way every major league club that's playing today is playing. Same rules.
Two balls, two strikes, one away. Fouled into the stands.
Looks like a young lad from Whittier, California grabbed that foul ball.
Yeah. A lot of people from Whittier, California watching this game. Hitman trying to tie things right back up here in the second inning with Corey Kling. It's the 9th pitch of this at bat. Kling is from Hollywood, Florida, that is. Back up the middle. Oh, that one I thought might have been a double play. Instead, it's a base hit as it gets under the glove of Evan Chavez.
Now coming to bat, number 5, Blake Matthews.
Hitman with runners on first and second here. Definitely in position to plate a run. Get a nice clutch hit right here. See if Blake Matthews can go with whatever pitch, location, and hit the ball wherever they pitch it. Maybe a little sneak one through on the right side, little opposite field action here. Plate that runner at second.
Ball getting away, runners advancing to second and third.
Everybody moving up 70 feet there. You know, Bernie, we talked about this earlier in one of the earlier games today, or it may have even been last night in one of the games, but just exactly how few pass balls and wild pitches we've seen in these championship broadcasts. It's really amazing to me that even way back to the 8U game Friday night, we didn't have but just a few, a handful. And as the age has gotten older and older, it's less and less and less. Just the mechanics of what these young catchers are being taught, the way to drop and block, they're way above their years in their mechanics. The Hitmen are just one base hit away from taking the lead.
Can they get a big hit from Blake Matthews here? They're going to talk things over here. This is an important spot of the game. Obviously, you know, with the rain here, too, you never quite know if you're going to get a chance to play the 6 innings that you're expected to play.
No, you're right. By USSSA rules, 3.5 with the home team winning, or 4 is an official game. And so you got to keep that in mind. And I have a feeling that's why Coach Rudy Garcia now is sending somebody down to the bullpen to get loose and get ready, just because of the sheer fact that this may only be a 4-inning game. You just don't know. The sky, if you look at the sky, you'd be amazed that we're playing at all. So you got it. That goes into the coaching mentality of what's going on here.
Pitch foul back. Base on balls.
Now stepping to the plate, number 16,
Just like that, Ethan Malone has got himself here in a little bit of a jam. With the bases loaded and only 1 out. I see Coach Garcia keeps looking down there at the bullpen, wanting to know when that new right arm is going to be ready.
Wow, pitch is going to get away. No, they are going to say foul ball. Or hit by pitch?
Actually, I believe we've got a hit by pitch, but the batter swung, so it's going to count as a strike. And the hit by pitch is nullified. Of course, as soon as the ball struck the batter, the ball became dead, so the runners can't advance.
Here's a look.
Clip that back shoulder.
Brandon Marquise at the plate, the big cheese.
Nice breaking ball, dropped it right into the strike zone. Nice roundhouse. Brandon didn't like that. Figured he'd lay off it.
Pitch foul.
That's a good piece of defensive hitting right there. You know, the pitch was too close to take.
Right.
With 2 strikes. But at the same time, it's not a pitch he wants to hit. So you just throw the barrel out there, just make a little bit of contact on it, knock it foul, get back in the box, and get ready for another pitch. Hopefully the next pitch is something, you know, that he likes a little bit more, and possibly something he can drive one direction or the other.
Foul tip. He's going to get another life.
Obviously, it wasn't a foul tip. I thought that's what the umpire.
And I almost thought that I heard the.
Yeah, I thought that's what the umpire signaled, but maybe not. He may have just been signaling that the batter did swing through, and And because it was in the dirt and first base is occupied, he could not run, so he rung him up automatically.
Tapped on the ground with 2 away. They throw to first, and they get the out to end the inning. A tight play over there at first base. What a tight little grab. Over at first, Boca Hitman, they get an opportunity, but they miss a chance there. MVP coming back to the plate.
Next.
Expected wait time, 55 minutes. Your call is important to us. Thank you for your patience.
In the nation, we know how it feels when you aren't treated like a priority. We do things differently.
We'll take care of it.
We put members first.
Thank you.
Join the nation.
Nationwide is on your side.
A bird's eye view of this Elite World Series Championship. A talented director that does a handful of these games. Derek Lukes, right now he is on his honeymoon up in Canada, enjoying, just recently got married about a week ago. So Andrew Ray holding down the fort back at the command center in Vieira. I don't know whether it's raining quite as much over there in Vieira as it is here, but Andrew Ray, producer-director, Blake Biggerstaff, our graphics extraordinaire, and on the replay tonight is Will Hinson, the 4th. Great crew here as well. Mike Benacasa. Joe, our main man on home plate camera. Joe Hanna locking it down. The good news is we're playing this championship game.
Yeah, if you'd have told me an hour and a half ago that we'd be playing right now, I'd have told you there was no way when the entire infield of this diamond was underwater and you could barely see the dirt.
Back to the pitcher and over to first. They get the first out. Easy play to get Payton, the right fielder, and that brings up Eisen Candia, the left fielder.
You know, I just can't stop thinking, Bernie, bases loaded, 1 out by Boca in the last half inning, how that is probably going to come back to haunt them. You know, is 1 run going to win this game? Is 2 runs going to win this game? I don't know. But having the bases juiced with only 1 out and not getting anything across, that's a tough pill to swallow. You just don't get that many scoring opportunities in a game like this, and you really have to capitalize on every one of them.
One and one. Isaac Cadilla, the left fielder, trying to get aboard. Nickname Stinky. Cadena right back up the middle.
I don't want to know where they came up with that nickname.
It's a baseball team, you know. At least the guys are honest with us. All right, this is Dean Moss at the plate. It's our final championship game here at Champion Stadium for the Elite World Series, and this is the venue, the facility that really grew this event from nothing into being the pinnacle, particularly for these young age groups, of the place to be. Late steal, he got off the bag and they got him. Ball in the dirt. He said, why not try to take second? And now Isaac Cadena trying to take the bag. And as you see, the throw just off the line, and that's just a wet field.
Well, Bernie, he actually slid late. He approached the bag from the backside to avoid the tag, which is good, but he actually was late getting a slide down.
Into center, it gets by, and that's where that is a major error, because that would have been, I would think, potentially the second runner, at least a runner on third, but it'll go as a double. So Moss gets to second base.
Now coming to the plate, the pitcher, 0-0, Athen Malone.
Here's a called strike. Malone, the pitcher. Base hit, gets through the gap. They're going to send home Moss. No, they're going to hold him at third. Wisely so, because the throw came in quickly. Get a courtesy running for the pitcher.
Runners on the corner with 2 outs. We go down to the top of the order, number 7, Evan Chavez.
There's a ground ball. The throw across the diamond. Oh, he's safe. Almost a brilliant play, and MVP is going to turn it into a run.
Chavez, the RBI single. Off scores. Chavez. First base, Malone at third. Now batting number 32, Luke Bauer.
Into center field.
Fly ball center field, out number 2.
Play is made for the final out, but another run comes in. MVP, 1 in the first, 1 more in the second, and they've got a 2-0 advantage here at the USSSA Elite World Series.
We are the game changers. The soldiers.
We are one and we are many.
We fight together for one common goal.
But how we fight?
Well, that couldn't be any more different.
We each have our own skills
and our own needs.
Which is why we choose these as our weapons.
A collection of the hottest tools to give us the power we strive for.
These are the game changers.
For the game changers.
We are one.
We are many.
We are D-Marini Nation.
Power to the players.
All right, let's take a look at the second inning for MVP. We saw a number of spectacular plays so far in this one, but not only did we see some great defense, but we saw Wilson MVP do what they needed to do to push across another run. And we bring you back now for the top of the third inning.
Well, Bern, it looks like the rain has at least momentarily stopped, which is a good thing because I'm not sure this diamond can handle any more rain with the amount that we've had fall so far this morning since 9 o'clock, basically. We've had a few moments where it didn't rain, but pretty much it's been, you know, ongoing since 9 o'clock this morning. So the fact that we're even in the third inning, you know, of the third game of the day in itself is a testament to the ground crew here at the ESPN Wide World of Sports and the fabulous job they do getting the fields playable.
Braden Slade, down the line, it's fair. The Hitman, they need some runs. And they're going to get a double to start things off here in the third.
Little pop-up slide action there at second base, pounding the hands together, trying to pick his team up. Slade's got the right idea. It starts with one. Bernie, I can see some of the S30 athletes who have already showed up and have gone through the registration process, taken a little peek at our 11 and under Elite World Series Championship game.
Yeah, and I heard that they were lined up all the way to the Globe. Is that right?
Yeah, they were.
Everybody that gets in town obviously wants to make sure that they're a part of this championship as quick as possible.
Rylan Lujo there, the leadoff hitter for the Hitmen, laying down a beautiful sacrifice bunt, moved that runner over to third base.
Pitch is going to get away. KJ Stubry at the plate, and that's a run that's going to score. The Hitman on the board for the first time in the game. One ball, one strike, one away, but one already in. 2-1. This ball is crushed back, gone! Wow!
That's an easy 275-foot blast.
KJ Strobe, we have liftoff.
And just like that, Bern, we are knotted at a pair.
Wow. Incredible feat of strength there. He connected on all of that one. And looks like we got a new pitcher coming in, Evan Miranda. Is going to come in and pitch. It's a whole new ball game. 2-2 our score here in the third.
First started swinging Marucci bats when I was in AAA. I needed some bats to swing, and I heard about Marucci at the time, so I gave it a shot. I mean, just the difference in the bats were amazing. You know, it felt so good in my hand, it felt like an instrument almost. My name is Andrew McCutcheon, and I swing Marucci. Check out Big League tested and approved Marucci products now.
We are back at the USSSA Elite World Series. Twinsies here. Paul O'Leary's joined us in the booth. Made his way over from Vieira, busiest man at USSSA. He was printing, I think, how many copies this morning for you guys? Yep. After the home run, they get a new pitcher and give up a base hit, not the way that you wanted to be welcomed into the contest. All right, so the batter now, Nico Bennerstad. New pitcher, Evan Miranda on to throw. Nico struck out in his first plate appearance. They flip to second, they get one. 4-6-3, that's what you do when you bring in the reliever. He gets the ground out double play, and that ends the inning. But we have one huge hit so far in the contest for the Hitman. KJ Strobe crushes it out of the yard. And we're all tied up, headed to the bottom of the third.
First started swinging Marucci bats when I was in AAA. I needed some bats to swing, and I heard about Marucci at the time, so I gave it a shot. I mean, just the difference in the bats were amazing. You know, it felt so good in my hand, it felt like an instrument almost. My name is Andrew McCutcheon, and I swing Marucci. Check out Big League tested and approved Marucci products now.
Back here getting set for the bottom of the third inning. A couple of big hits here in this contest. MVP put together the first 2 runs, a run of the first, a run of the second. But the Hitmen, they have climbed back to score 2 more here in the third.
Now batting, number 34, Gabriel Camacho.
Gabriel Camacho. Down the line, it goes foul. Down on strikes.
One out. Now batting, number 6, Landon White.
Landon White now. Landon White is the batter. Tons of athletes lined up for the Select 30, and we're going to have it for you next weekend. A full day of baseball for you from 8 a.m. all the way until who knows. It's the challenge of playing 6 on one day.
8:05, 10:35
a.m.
Oh, yeah.
Into center.
1:10. 3:45, 6:15, and like 8:30 p.m. It's going to be a long day, but it will be a great day if you're a baseball
you think
fan.
about it, for the athletes, they're going to come in, they're going to be tested, evaluated, looked at, et cetera, and the top 30 are the ones that are selected to play in that game. So it's a completely different mindset, of course.
Yeah, it's an individual event. These players were identified at the Select 30 Super NIT events held all across the country, all throughout the year. And at the event, if the scouts at the event liked what they saw, and and they were scouting them in live game, real game situations, and if they liked what they saw, they issued them an invite and a golden ticket, and then they come for this week-long event here, where they'll get the opportunity to intermingle with former Major League Baseball players like Ken Griffey Jr. and Dave Winfield and Michael Tucker and Marquise Grissom. And speaking of Marquise Grissom, Bernie, here's a little fact I bet you didn't know.
Yep.
What Major League player has the highest career World Series batting average with at least a minimum of 40 at-bats?
Might be a Brave, I'm assuming, because they played in a lot of World Series. As you like the Braves, they didn't win a lot, but they played in a lot.
Marquise Grissom. He has a career 390 World Series batting average.
Impressive.
I just learned that the other night. But the players are going to get to intermingle with those guys and actually take direction and do drills with the former major leaguers and the S30 scouting task force. And then at the end of the week, the former major league players and the task force will sit down, and they're going to pick the top 30 prospects out of each of the 6 age divisions, 9s through 14s, and then those 30 players in each age, they will play in the top prospect game next Saturday, a week from yesterday. And like you said, it is 6 games, one right after another, all of them right here in Champion Stadium at the ESPN Wide World of Sports. So that'll be a long day. But it'll be a fun day if you're a baseball fan, because there will be a lot of great baseball played that day. You're going to see a lot of incredible talent from all over the country.
First started swinging Marucci bats when I was in AAA. I needed some bats to swing, and I heard about Marucci at the time, so I gave it a shot. I mean, just the difference in the bats were amazing. You know, it felt so good in my hand, it felt like an instrument almost. My name is Andrew McCutcheon, and I swing Marucci. Check out Big League tested and approved Marucci products now. First started swinging Marucci bats when I was in AAA. I needed some bats to swing, and I heard about Marucci at the time, so I gave it a shot. I mean, just the difference in the bats were amazing. You know, it felt so good in my hand, felt like an instrument almost. My name is Andrew McCutcheon, and I swing Marucci. Check out Big League tested and approved Marucci products now.
First challenger. Uh-oh. Seems kind of heavy, don't you think?
We might need to cut this up.
Adi zero pretty light, I don't know. Maybe the other side?
That should even out.
That should make it right.
Yeah, Adi zero, 1-0.
Next competitor.
Time to get the cutting on this one too.
All right, 2-2. And a 2-2 game here in the fourth inning with a Hitman at the plate. Anthony Espinoza, the right fielder, leading things off, grounds it right back to the pitcher, and he will underhand toss it over to first.
One out. Now stepping to the plate, number 13, Sammy Soto.
And popped up and caught on the infield. And take care of Sammy Soto.
Two outs. Now batting, number 23, Corey Kling.
Corey Kling. There you go, a strikeout to end the inning. The Hitmen, after they scored 2 in the top of the third, they're blanked in the fourth. MVP coming back to the plate.
First challenger.
Uh-oh. Seems kind of heavy, don't you think?
We might need to cut this up.
Adi zero pretty light, I don't know. Maybe the other side?
That should even
That
out.
should make it right.
Yeah, Adi zero, 1-0.
Next competitor.
Time to get the cutting on this one too. Still no comparison.
No way the coaches let me on the field with this.
Might be in the dugout with it. We can go one more. Ooh. Get a couple curls in.
You about to get big out here.
Big but fast though.
Adi
zero. You can cut some off for that.
We're gonna cut the tongue and everything. No comparison.
Still rock bottom.
That just happened.
Lighter the cleat, faster the game. It's no competition. I'm out of here. Enough said.
There they are.
There's a couple of our Select 30 participants right there leaning over, taking in a little bit of the 11 and under Elite World Series Championship game. These boys are up for a great week of baseball. They're going to get to intermingle with the Major League players from the Players Association. It is just a great, great opportunity. Those guys are going to have a great time. That whole S30 program, Bernie, it's wonderful. The steps that USSSA is doing for these accomplished athletes, getting them to the position where they're going to be on the field with former Major League players. I'd have killed for that as a kid.
This ball crushed into center. It gets over the head. It's going to be a base hit for Derek Curl. On his way to second, and he's in safely with a double.
Now stepping to the plate, number 1, Victor Whittier.
You know, every time I see a group of 10-year-old players meet like that, I'm always thinking, all right, someone's trying to plan the old hidden ball trick. See if they might put a play on here at second base.
Payne Woodard. Over to first. Runner over to third.
1 out. The batter, number 24, Isaac Cadena.
Isaac Cadena.
You know, Bernie, I'm looking at the radar, and
Yep.
I don't understand how we're playing baseball right now.
It's all around us, right?
It must be raining everywhere except above Champion Stadium. Metropolitan Orlando / Kissimmee has been hammered all day, but yet we are nothing falling from the sky right now. Except for the occasional bomb by one of the hitters in this game.
Yeah.
That 275-foot blast.
See Cadena's numbers today, 1 for 1, singled in the second. Runner on third. MVP trying to break this 2-2 game. Isaac Cadena, left fielder.
And I don't know if it's my imagination or not, Bernie, but it seems like as soon as Boca tied this game up 2-2, we went to a snail's pace.
Yep.
And I'm thinking possibly that obviously Coach Garcia of the MVP is probably getting a little bit more methodical on things that moves that he's making and plays that he might potentially put on, and it just seems like we're just kind of crawling along here.
This ball hit well, and that one is gone. A 2-run home run for Isaac Cadena, and Wilson MVP is back on top.
Well, that didn't take long.
No, I hear you.
That ball got out of here in a hurry. Another good 270, 275-foot shot right there. You got to realize with 250 on the lines and 270 in center, you're probably looking at about 260, 265 where it cleared the fence, and it definitely cleared it by 10-plus feet. So you're right in the 270, 275 neighborhood again. Couple large blasts out of these 11-year-olds today.
New pitcher. We have number 5, Blake Matthews, coming on to throw. We'll take a break and come back to Champion Stadium after this.
Next.
Expected wait time, 55 minutes. Your call is important to us. Thank you for your patience.
In the nation, we know how it feels when you aren't treated like a priority. We do things differently.
We'll take care of it.
We put members first.
Thank you.
Join the nation.
Nationwide is on your side.
Number 54, Dean Moss.
All right, we got a new pitcher in. Blake Matthews coming on to throw. Dean Moss at the plate. And the first pitch misses outside. To Moss, the pitcher. Moss on it, fouls it straight back. Bottom of the fourth, with one away after a 2-run home run. Ground ball. It's fair. They'll apply the tag and get the second out.
Coming to the plate, number 45, Evan Miranda.
Yeah, so there's 2 away. And Evan Miranda, the new pitcher. Ground ball taken by the shortstop across the diamond at first. The Hitman headed back to the dugout, but they got some work to do. Trailing after they tied it up in the 3rd. Once again here in the 4th after the 2-run home run by Wilson MVP. 4-2, the advantage.
We are the game changers, the soldiers.
We are one and we are many.
We fight together for one common goal.
But how we fight?
Well, that couldn't be any more different.
We each have our own skills
and our own needs.
Which is why we choose these as our weapons.
A collection of the hottest tools to give us the power we strive for.
These are the game changers.
For the game changers.
We are one.
We are many.
We are D-Marini Nation.
Power to the players.
Branding, man, branding.
Welcome back to the ESSA Elite World Series. MLBPA in the house for tomorrow.
And a lot of South Florida and Southern California faithful in the stands right now. Of course, the siblings, the younger siblings playing on the hill, that just never changes here at the Wide World of Sports.
Right.
That hill has kind of become infamous with Elite World Series championship games. I've seen quite a few little games of soft toss and stuff being played by the siblings over on that hill before too.
No, they love it, that's for sure.
Yeah. It's a good time, good family, good clean family fun. Unfortunately, Mother Nature has she's been kind to us here for the last hour and a half, and hopefully she'll hold true. We can get a full 6-inning game in.
One ball, one strike. Blake Matthews at the plate. Got him. For the first out here in the 5th inning. Ethan Miranda. Now this is Brandon Marchese.
It's getting late, Byrne. It's getting late.
Marchese at the plate, one away. Hitman down to their final 5 outs of this League World Series championship game. A ball is striking and out. And a ground ball over to third. And they got out number 2.
Two outs. The batter, number 2, Noah Lucia.
Noah Lucia takes the pitch inside for a called strike. Oh, 2 now.
You know, Bernie, as we're wrapping up week 1 of USSSA baseball here at the ESPN Wide World of Sports, we still got 2 weeks to go.
I hear you.
That's a dozen games that have to be handled by your cameramen and your crew.
They're ready. They can't wait.
Yeah, next Saturday is going to be their favorite day of the whole world of the year, I'm sure.
They told me as long as the check clears, they try not to discriminate.
There you go. So I now understand why your cameramen stand on these little black pads. Because
full day of standing.
Well, you know, I sat for the first couple innings, but you know, I like to move around too much, so sitting doesn't work for me. So I got 1 foot on the mat, 1 foot off the mat.
Your right foot's a lot more comfortable?
My left ankle is throbbing, which is just standing on the floor. And then my right ankle, which is up on this nice little soft mat, can't even tell I've been standing on it.
Swing and a miss. He's down on strikes. Evan Miranda gets another strikeout in the inning, and that concludes things for the top half of the 5th. Well, the Hitmen, they're down to their final 3 outs. MVP coming back to the plate, up by 2 here at the Elite World Series.
First started swinging Marucci bats when I was in AAA. I needed some bats to swing, and I heard about Marucci at the time, so I gave it a shot. I mean, just the difference in the bats were amazing. You know, it felt so good in my hand, it felt like an instrument almost. My name is Andrew McCutcheon, and I swing Marucci. Check out Big League tested and approved Marucci products now.
We are back. The faithful are here. Some of the select 30 players have arrived. And they're the youngsters enjoying watching, learning, getting a chance to see the best.
Are you guys work for ESPN?
Doing a game here at Champion Stadium. A great night of action. Can't beat fun at the old ballpark.
Got a few fans of yours here, Bernie. Got spectators in the house. Some youngsters. Nice haircuts. Looks like they have their names shaved in their hair.
There's a base hit back up the middle.
Chavez takes the first pitch into center field for the base hit. Now batting number 32, Luke.
See, if you're Wilson MVP right now, Bernie, you can look at that scoreboard and you can say, okay, I got a 2-run lead.
Yep.
But we all know that Boca can score 2 runs in an inning real easily.
Right.
Because they did it. So 2's not probably a safe place to be. And they're going to probably try to throttle 1 or 2 more here. Get a little bit bigger cushion for that last inning. I do know that the Boca offense can explode at any time. They've exploded many times over the course of this week, played at a lot of runs. So for them to be held to 2 is a far stretch possibly. So be interesting to see how Coach Garcia and the Wilson MVP play at this half inning. You know, something that a lot of people may not realize is that Coach Garcia with Wilson MVP, this is actually their 3rd straight Elite World Series championship appearance. Last year, they were in the 10-and-under championship game against the Georgia Yard Dogs, and they knocked off the Yard Dogs, I believe, 7-8. And the year prior to that, when they were 9 years old, they were in the championship game against the same Georgia Yard Dogs and won that game 5-4. So we actually had the same 2 teams in the 9 and 10-year-old championship 2 years in a row, and then 3rd year in a row with the with Coach Garcia's team. Rudy Garcia heads up that MVP program, and his 11-year-old bunch now. So his 9, 10s, and 11s, these boys have all played in this championship game. So they're obviously they're not new to it. Luke Bauer at the plate. Runner on second. 2-1's a count, nobody out. I know Coach Garcia's standing there in the third base coach's box trying to figure out any way possible to get that extra run home. Having a 3-run lead going into the top of the 6th is much more comfortable than the 2-run lead. There's a called strike, evens up the count at 2-2. Outside, count run full. I'll tell you, Blake Matthews,
yep,
for the Hitman, he has really pitched a really good, rock-solid game. I'm thinking of 3 pitches that he's made in this game.
Yep.
Those 3 pitches hurt him, but other than that, he has pitched great. He's definitely a proud performance for him and his parents.
There's a walk.
Draws the base on ball.
Well, this is a critical junction here if you're the Hitman. You got to get out of this inning with just being a 2-run deficit because you're down to your final 3 outs.
And that is going to be the day. It's going to be the end of the road for Blake. He pitched a beauty. Yeah, you're right, Bernie. I mean, you can't. Boca the Hitman just cannot afford to allow MVP to score any more runs. MVP is very stingy with the runs they give up. They were averaging giving up 2.5 per game for the whole week. So they're sitting right at that average right now. They're not going to be willing to fudge much. So you've got to do everything in your power to keep it a 2-run deficit.
Now pitching for the Hitman.
KJ Scobie coming on to pitch. Saw him. He's got the big at bat so far in this game.
Does. He has swung in a blast. Easy 275 shot, mile high. Just he really launched it. Unfortunately for the Hitmen, that accounts for their scoring. You know, in the third frame they were able to hang a 2 spot, put a crooked number up there, but that's all they've been able to manage so far today. So KJ's just about ready, finishing up his last couple warm-up tosses. And of course, he's going to be met by the
All right, back here as we watch MVP with 2 in scoring position. They've got them loaded up.
Intentional face-off balls, loading up the bases with 1 out. Now stepping to the plate, number 2, Malachi Palejo.
Peyton Woodyard there draws the intentional walk. That is strictly a defensive reason to set up the force play at every base, including home plate. Just
right back to the pitcher. They throw to second to get 1. Back to first, and oh, wow! A double play. The Hitmen are still alive. It's all about the D.
And that's why you intentionally walk to load the bases.
Incredible play to end the inning. They were loaded up. 1, 4, 3 to retire the side.
First started swinging Marucci bats when I was in AAA. I needed some bats to swing, and I heard about Marucci at the time, so I gave it a shot. I mean, just the difference in the bats were amazing. You know, it felt so good in my hand, it felt like an instrument almost. My name is Andrew McCutcheon, and I swing Marucci. Check out Big League tested and approved Marucci products now.
We are the game changers, the soldiers.
We are one and we are many.
We fight together for one common goal.
But how we fight?
Well, that couldn't be any more different.
We each have our own skills
and our own needs.
Which is why we choose these as our weapons.
A collection of the hottest tools to give us the power we strive for.
These are the game changers.
For the game changers.
We are one.
We are many.
We are DeMarini Nation.
Power to the players.
All right, Johnny Torres is out in left field. It's the final inning of the final game here at Champion Stadium in the Elite World Series. All the memories, all the history, you've been a part of it since it grown from, I guess in many ways, probably just an idea of trying to gather the top youth teams in the country and bring them all to one venue and qualify and get in.
Well, it's a unique tournament, Bernie, in that it's one of the few, very, very, very few travel level tournaments where you got to play your way here.
Yep.
You know, just about all of all other tournaments, it's, you know, if you're willing to pay the entry fee, then you can play, but not the Elite World Series. You got to earn a berth through the Elite Qualifying Series of select 30 Super NITs and Super NITs. So that in itself makes it unique. But yeah, it did. It birthed from 16 teams in the 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14-year-old divisions, then expanded to 24.
This ball hit well, deep and caught. What a catch. I think he said Johnny Torres got out there to take up the spot. He is all smiles.
Good for him. What a great, you know, he got turned around, he got twisted. Remind me a little bit of Yusel Puig trying to chase down a fly ball. You know, he got all turned around sideways, but hey, he recovered and he made the catch. And you know what? That just made his week, and that's great.
Incredible. So now Wilson MVP, they're 2 outs away. A year ago, they won the National Amateur Baseball Championship, which was the highest event in USSSA. Things shuffled a little this year where the Elite World Series is the pinnacle event. And now, of course, the athletes have a chance to qualify individually at the Select 30, which begins tomorrow. But to win the NABC and then to win the Elite back-to-back years for these individuals, it's quite an impressive accomplishment.
Well, this would be 3 straight Elite World Series championships for this team. You know, they won it as 9-year-olds, they won it as 10-year-olds, and to three-peat is something to be said with the same basic core group of players. speaks volumes for the coaching staff that Rudy Garcia has there at the MVP.
Ryan Lujo at the plate here in the top of the 6th inning. Three and one.
Now it's go time for the Hitmen, and they're at the top of the order, exactly where you need to be.
Full count. The tying run is in the on-deck circle, so they need at least a base runner. Payoff pitch. Fouled away into the stands. There they are, the Hitmen, hoping that they can mount a comeback.
You know, I like that at bat. 8-pitch at bat, and what Lujo did is he just kept fouling off those borderline pitches that are too close to take when you got 2 strikes on you, but aren't really hittable either. And he just fouled them off. He fought them off, slung the barrel of the bat out there, knocked him out of play to stay alive, and then worked a walk out of the deal and got that the first runner on base, because obviously you can't score the second run till you at least have that first runner on base. And this brings up a name that we have talked about a lot today, Bernie.
What a day it has been for the Hitsman's KJ Scobie. He's got both of the runs early with the 2-run home run in the 3rd inning. Can he do it again and get some late fireworks?
You know, I noticed, Bern, KJ doesn't even wear any batting gloves. El Natural there at the plate.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a visit to the mound. This is more of just a, hey guys, let's remember we got the 2-run lead. We've already got 1 out. Just as long as we get the 3rd out before they get the 2nd run, we're fine. They can't score 2 runs with a runner on first base. You know. Obviously, the batter has to get on also, so there's no, and the runner at first means nothing to Wilson MVP. Whether it ends up a 4-2 final or a 4-3 final is totally irrelevant to them. So this was just more of a, hey, this is where we are, guys. Let's stay calm. Let's you know, we're gonna pitch him this way. You know, let's not forget what he did earlier in the game. And you know, it wouldn't actually surprise me at all if Coach Garcia didn't tell his pitcher to, hey, let's not leave anything out there. Let's not walk him intentionally, but let's not let him be the one that hurts us.
No, I hear you there.
We're going to indirectly pitch around him.
Bunted, but foul. Swing and a miss. It's 2-2. The catcher celebrated what he thought was a called strike 3, but instead it's ball 3. He must have really liked the pitch.
Yeah, from our vantage point, which happens to be directly above home plate, that ball was a good 6-8 inches outside. I'm not quite sure. I don't know whether the pitcher hit the spot and the spot was just too wide to begin with.
Slight drizzle once again. KJ Scobie fouling it back and away.
You know, we may be pushing our luck with Mother Nature here, Bernie. Rain starts to come back in, and we know the field just cannot handle any more water.
Three, two, check swing, fouled back to the net. Let's look at this gorgeous facility here at Champion Stadium. It's played home to the USSSA Elite World Series for all of its existence, but it could be down to potentially its final at bat. No. And we'll see at least one more hitter. Ball 4. And now the tying run is over at first. And it looks like we have a new pitcher, Gio Mota, coming into pitch. We'll take a break here in the 6th inning. Wilson, MVP, 2 outs away from being elite champions.
First started swinging Marucci bats when I was in AAA. I needed some bats to swing, and I heard about Marucci at the time, so I gave it a shot. I mean, just the difference in the bats were amazing. You know, it felt so good in my hand, felt like an instrument almost. My name is Andrew McCutcheon, and I swing Marucci. Check out Big League tested and approved Marucci products now.
All right, Gio Mota, hoping that he's the one that's on the mound when Wilson celebrates a championship. The Hitman hoping they can put together one more big string. They got the tying run on first, the go-ahead run at the plate here in the top of the 6th inning.
Actually, Bernie, Dean Moss came in to pitch. Gio Mota went in defensively at another spot on the field, and I didn't catch where he went. But we're actually going to have Dean Moss on the mound, and I'll take the responsibility for that error because I was the one that pointed out that Gio was coming in.
All right, here's the Hitman at the plate. Anthony Trelengo.
3-hole hitter.
And right away, Paleo wants to make sure that he is on the same page with his new pitcher, Dean Moss.
Well, you got a runner on second. You know, don't know whether he's feeding any information to the batter or not, but you got a runner on second, and you got to make sure that the pitcher and catcher are on the same page. The last thing you need is for your new pitcher to throw a breaking ball and the catcher think it's a fastball, and now the runners are on second and third, you know, instantly with both of them, with the tying runs in both the tying run in scoring position. So the short conference is well worth it just to be safe.
Hot Wheels, the nickname for Dean Moss. And oh my goodness, an errant throw. Here's the throw to the plate, and the Hitman down a run now. on a throw that didn't need to be made, and you could see Paleo just put his arms up next to his head and say, oh my, what just happened?
Well, you do got to remember we are 11-year-olds here, you know, and getting caught up in the moment and possibly, you know, trying to overplay it more than it needs to be played.
Ground ball on the infield. They get the tag for the out. The second out, and there's one out remaining now for the Hitmen.
That was a costly base running mistake right there.
2 outs. Now coming to the plate, number 6. Nico Benestad.
Here's a look.
He just kind of got caught there in no man's land. He was a little too far off on the ground ball hit to that side, and by the time the decision was made, it was too late. And most importantly for Wilson MVP is they got the leading lady. That means that the tying run is now 70 feet less closer to first base than it was.
And Dean Moss can really just get dialed in now and try to get Nico Bernstad.
Nico is the cleanup hitter for the Hitmen, so you can figure Nico can drive the ball somewhere.
Grounded into a double play. Bernstad's 0 for 2. Ball in the dirt.
Nice block. Yeah, you may not realize it, but depending upon what Nico does here at the plate, but the block right there on that wild pitch could have saved a run.
Absolutely.
Because if he moves up to second, any base hit practically any base hit is going to score that tying run. So you don't know how huge something so small can be. And we may never know how huge it'll be. But potentially it has the opportunity to have been a very skilled defensive play.
3-1. Well, you want to still remain focused here. You don't want to walk the cleanup hitter, Nico Bernstad. Obviously, they know that he's got some pop because of the spot he's in. He hits this ball out to right field, but the play is made, and Wilson, MVP. They're the elite champions.
The three-peat is complete.
Today, California is greater than Florida.
And it appears as if our awards ceremony is going to be conducted out here on the field. I will leave the scoreboard on.
Wow, what a moment. What a final championship game between Wilson MVP and the Hitman.
Well, you know, completing the three-peat, and it's kind of amazing, Bernie. 3 Elite World Series championships in 3 years, and all 3 championship games won by a combined total of 3 runs.
Well, that's going to do it for our coverage of the USSSA Elite World Series. We're back here tomorrow, next Saturday, I should say, with a full slate of games starting at 8 a.m.
6 of them, Bern. 6 ball games next Saturday.
We'll be back, and of course, we'll have some coverage of the opening ceremony tomorrow, the Select 30. Lots to come. 2 more weeks of baseball here from Disney. For Matt Trebashan and our entire crew back in Vieira and here at Disney, Bernie Gunther. Hope you have a great Sunday. Wilson MVP, Elite champions after a 4-3 win.